Oh, my neck! Welcome, everybody. It is a Thursday, and we have reached a subscriber amount, which means we're going to get a subscriber special, but it's not a choke. Well, actually, hold on. Let me get this light on real quick. Yeah, there we go. It's not a joke on Explain SCP. No. Something very special today. I was waiting for this one. This one is... So, some people have told me that some SCPs have been rewritten. And I decided that two of them I want to check out just to see how different they are now. I can only tell that somebody watching my channel is going to, be very angry with me because they have requested me to go back to read an SCP I already read. And I told them no, because it's an SCP that didn't change over the years. It did not change. It's one I already read. And I said specifically multiple times throughout this channel's history, this channel and my journey, I said I'm not going forward, nor am I going backwards. I'm going in numerical order. I mean, I'm going forward, but I'm not jumping. I'm not skipping SCPs to go in the far future. I'm not doing that. I'm going bit by bit numerical order. But I did also say, if it gets rewritten, I might check it out. And this is the exception I am willing to make right now. I'm going to check out two SCPs that got rewritten. And I'm actually going to do this live. I didn't prepare anything. I just pressed recording and ready to go. So the first one that we're going to look at was 2529. So there's two things I need to do real quick. First, we're going to check what is the original 2529 that we had. Here we go. 2529. Oh, wait a minute. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the OG 2529 was one that did not exist anymore. I had to go to Wayback Machine for this one. Let me actually check my video out. But yeah, I believe it was the it was a cell phone. I forgot if it was an app or just a cell phone specifically, or just her case. But it was a murder case that you could not look up whatsoever. And I'm pretty sure it's a yes, this was with the Wayback Machine. So that explains why they got replaced. Yes, these are the replaced ones. Okay. So, and now the second thing we have to do before we actually get into the new one is, of course, see which author it is. Search 2529. There we go. All right, it's an author called Green Wolf. I'm not sure if we read one of their works yet. Although, will I forget? No, I'm pretty sure we did. I'm pretty sure we read their works before. No, nothing about it. Let me double check. Yeah, we have. Yes. We had a few of their works. And even like here it says, even like here, some of them are freshly new, it seems. Like even though 2897 is a number we already read, it does see like this last post was April this year. So I wonder if it means that this one also got changed. I need to double check if somebody told me about. Actually, let me check now. I can do it all right here, right now. Nothing's stopping me. Nothing's stopping me. I think, did somebody say that one got changed? 2897? Nope. I guess it would also, yeah, no, it would actually make sense. It would fit. 2897, let's look here. 2897. Is there a comment there? No, okay, never mind. The more you know, the more you know. Alright. But hey, Green Wolf, we had you a few times. We did not have you in series 4 yet. But yeah, I just checked. We had the latest one we have with you was 2897, which is, oh, it was like, oh yeah, it was all about like yeah, it was like an AI going rogue, if I recall correctly. It was like a different, like the AI was like refreshing itself, erasing its memories, and it's just like it was just like how AI can, like, slowly but surely just manipulate us, which, yeah, it is definitely going to be an issue nowadays. But okay now. got it all sorted out here. So 2529 is now called. Let me get there. Sorry about this. This is fresh from the oven. Nothing planned, just ready to go. Now we have the many curses of South Cheyenne Point. Because I'm pretty sure Cheyenne is like a Native American name. But let me see how to pronounce that correctly first of all. Cheyenne? Well, that's the British pronunciation. What is the Cheyenne? And if I just give in this, what does it actually show? Oh, it's the capital city of Wyoming. Oh, okay. But there is also indigenous people. See? Okay, I'm not that stupid. I'm not that dumb. But I assume because it's a point, I guess it's more about the city and less about the actual indigenous people. Okay, let's get into it. Perfect. Okay, up to class Thormy. Oh, okay. Green Wolf, I see you. Level 2 Socrates restricted. Special containment procedures. Containment of SCP-2529 is currently considered undesirable, save for those measures necessary to keep anomalous effects on objects confined to the South Cheyenne Point campus. Why is there already like a footnote number 3 here? Where's the other? Wait, hold on now. What? Why is it number 3? This article is linked to my alma mater, which inspired me with his truly impressive description of student welfare. Okay, but where's number 1? Oh, it's here. Okay, gotcha. As SCP-2529 appears to be localized to the campus, such measures have not been required. I did not. So that's actually now a good question to you guys. Like, I always read whatever text the picture has after special containment procedures, or like basically whenever it's like the last paragraph is like about to finish. For example, here. And then the next paragraph is like below the picture. That's when I'm like, okay, let's check the picture out. Am I supposed to just look at the picture first and read what the picture says, and then read special containment procedure? I guess asking a question out loud kind of makes sense. Cadets undergoing instruction at South Cheyenne Point are encouraged to develop novel containment strategies to mitigate. I gotta check that everything works well with the mic. Yeah. The impact of SCP-2529 on their daily lives. Any such strategies should not be adopted or implemented on a permanent basis by Academy administration, as this risks compromising the pedagogical. I am not good today. I just realized. Pedagogical benefits of SCP-2529. Pedagogical. Jesus. Okay. The logo of the Foundation Service Academy at South Cheyenne Point, Sumus Consimilis Primorum, is the school's official motto, which means, Latin for, we are just like the best. The alternative motto scars cadets permanently, which is popular among the students' body and used by the student-run campus newspaper. Oh, the bullies will definitely use that for the newcomers. Don't you know? We scars cadets permanently around here. It's our motto. The student control press is not approved or endorsed by Academy administration. South Cheyenne Point, I like the compass, and that the south one is the most. This is a colorful one. So okay, cool. Description: SCP-2529 is the polyphyletic group of anomalous phenomena affecting the facility, faculty, and student body of the Foundation Service Academy at South Cheyenne Point. The Foundation Service Academy was established in 1946, shortly after the conclusion of the 7th Occult War. Its purpose was to train a new generation of Foundation officers and staff from people with no prior experience with the anomalous and to preserve the institutional expertise gained during the war. In this respect, it provides an answer to the robust recruiting pipeline of the Global Occult Coalition, allowing the Foundation to maintain priority in its research and response capabilities, which enjoys a prestigious position in recruiting, training, and retaining talent from beyond the veil, due to its relationship with member organizations such as the International Center for the Study of Unified Thaumatology, ICSUT. In contrast, the Foundation has historically struggled to recruit from veiled institutions such as ICSUT. And I saw also that this one has a lot of footnotes, so get ready. While the majority of Foundation recruiting still relies on the acquisition of existing external talent, most senior staff and command officers have received at least some instruction at the Foundation Service Academy. The first SCP-2529 anomaly was discovered in 1955, although it was not designated as such at the time. 3 more seemingly unrelated anomalies would be discovered in 1959, 1961, and 1964, prompting the establishment of SCP-2529 as a collective classification for all anomalies affecting South Cheyenne Point. The original 4 SCP-2529 anomalies were reclassified as Ajax, Bellerophon, Cadmus, and Diomedes. Okay, these are all like, I'm pretty sure most of them are Bellerophon. Are these all like Greek ones? Because Diomedes and Ajax are definitely Greek names. Respectively in the containment revised to conform with SCP-2529 containment procedures. I'm actually going to look up these two. Isn't this yes, I was about to say, like, because I literally was thinking about Medusa from Fate, because I'm pretty sure that I was like, wait, isn't that like the one who writes a what's it called? Fuck, what's wrong with me today? I might be sleep deprived. A Pegasus. Yes. Was a divine going to the hero? Yep. Because like Bellerophon is like the noble phantasm from Medusa, which is, but that one is Pegasus that Bellerophon rides. It's not, but yeah, in that makes sense. And Cadmus is was a legendary Phoenician founder of Boeotian Thebes. He was alongside Perseus and okay, so these are all. So I was right that these were all Greek names, especially mythological names. Good. Despite extensive study over the years by Foundation cadets and researchers, the source of SCP-2529 remains unidentified. It has not even been conclusively established that all SCP-2529 anomalies share a single source. Designation as part of SCP-2529 is and has always been based purely on place of manifestation, rather than commonality of origin. Several theories have been proposed for the source. And now that I think about it. Actually, no. Don't never mind. I want to keep this a surprise. The single source designation as part of SCP-2529 is and have always been based purely on place of manifestation rather than commonality. Yep, there we go. Several theories have been proposed for the source of SCP-2529, including, by the way, I do apologize that I'm this unfocused today. This is a rarity. I think a lot has happened the last like 2 hours. I just feel like I'm overwhelmed, but I want to do this. Also, action by an enemy of the Foundation. The existence of a nexus in the vicinity of South Cheyenne Point. If not for the designation of SCP-2529, South Cheyenne Point would otherwise qualify for classification as a nexus. Oh, that's it. Practical jokes committed by senior cadets. Random chance, a curse. And then we have the constituent anomalies. The following anomalies have been classified as instances of SCP-2529. By the way, I need to reread this. As a polyphyletic group of anomalies. Yeah, gotcha. Okay, here we have some constituent anomalies. The following anomalies have been classified as instances. Okay, sub-designation notes. We have Ajax. Ajax is a door located on the ground floor of the main academic building. This door is absent from the original floor plans. Anyone attempting to open or interact with this door, even indirectly, experiences an acute and disabling sensation of terror. Through heavy use of chemical anxiolytics, a student from the class of 1972 was able to open the door, revealing an identical door 2 inches behind Ajax. It's a fucking... It's a Looney Tunes bit where like you open door and there's like always one more door. To date, no one has been able to open this second door. It has become tradition among seniors to attempt to open the door on the last day of instructions. In addition to anxiolytics, cadets have tried to use robotics, psionics, hypnosis, thrown objects, bribery, explosives, and trained animals, but it just does not work. Okay. I like the idea of a door that like makes you so scared to open it, and somebody actually was brave enough to open it just for it to be having another door behind it. It's like, okay, you passed level 1, but can you handle level 2? Bellerophon is Dr. Gregory Hayden, the Academy Professor of Paralinguistics. Professor Hayden is a ghoul, a cannibalistic hominid capable of subsiding of the element vital energy contained within the human body. But he looks very rocking, I gotta say. Provided that he consumes one human every 6 months, he is functionally immortal. As a result, he is one of the few remaining living speakers of a large number of extinct languages, including ancient Sumerian. As a condition of his tenure, Professor Hayden is allowed but not required to devour one student of his choice from the bottom grading quartile each semester. Fuck. On several occasions, cadets have banded together to defend their classmates from being eaten using mixed unit tactics to drive Professor Hayden back to his lair in the faculty lounge. When cadets have been successfully at fending him off, Professor Hayden has always responded by awarding extra credit for the entire class. Wow, so if you actually survive him, he's like, 10 points to Gryffindor! Official faculty portrait of SCP 2529 Bellerophon. I wonder if this is an actual person. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah. There's a couple images that pop up. This one seems to be the most likely one. Yep. So who is this? Who are you? Who are you really? No. I don't want to see your picture more close. I want to know who you are. Well. Also, the wiki has changed. So I'll leave it at that. You know what? I'll leave it at that. He shall stay a mystery. Let's just say that. Cadmus. Cadmus is a dormitory F. This dormitory appeared overnight on campus at the beginning of the 1961 academic year, with no record or trace of its construction. On the first day of instruction each year, 40 seemingly human entities emerge from the dorm and attend classes as if they were students. However, brain scans of these humanoids show that they lack any neural activity. That's normal. That's normal. These humanoids will attempt to induce cadets to return to dormitory F with them. You know what? Scars cadet permanently, kind of, I guess that model does fit now, the more I read this. Real cadets who enter dormitory F show the same lack of neural activity upon re-emerging. It is now standard practice for sophomore cadets to systematically hunt down and exterminate all pseudo-cadets from dormitory F, and to instruct freshman cadets in the same, effectively rendering this anomaly neutralized. Does any fucking cadet in here actually learn something, or is it just pure survival every single day? Cadet ingenuity and cooperation in devising and effectuating this strategy is frequently cited as evidence of the pedagogical benefits. Diomedes is a cognitive hazardous audio signal embedded within the academic public address system, which induces grand mal seizures when heard. All attempts to remove this signal, including by complete replacement of the public address system, have been futile. Since 1982, the PA system has been inoperable after juniors from the class of 1983 cut all of the electrical cables to every intercom speakers on campus following a series of senior pranks involving Diomedes. Electra. Electra is a transmutation that occurs whenever coffee is brewed in the faculty lounge of the Language and Linguistics Department. Regardless of manner of preparation, any coffee brewed inside said faculty lounge will have a shot of Irish cream liquor added to it. Oh, great. Drunk teachers. Drunk this guy. A drunk ghoul? Are you kidding me? Despite repeated efforts by faculty from other departments, all attempts to replicate or recreate this phenomenon have been unsuccessful. Other hot beverages such as tea are unaffected. Ganymede is the ornamental fountain located at the center of campus. Rather than water, the fountain is filled with a different liquid each day. Fucking Dr. Pepper. It is common for cadets to use taking a drink from the fountain tomorrow as a punitive condition in bets and wagers. And except I'll take a drink from the fountain tomorrow if anyone in our study group fails this test. Oh, because it could potentially be bad. It could also be... It could be, this be piss. Draining the foundation temporarily neutralizes the anomaly for between 3 and 16 days. After which it spontaneously refills with a new liquid. Ganymedes in here were filled with ethanol. Oh shit. Priam, adorned with a straw hat, can be seen hovering above it. Yeah, who the fuck is that, by the way? Who? Just casually up there, she's like, oh, good day. I don't know why. Why did the trees? Why does everything looks photoshopped here? Not only this thing, but like even like the fountain, the trees, everything looks like kind of off. I don't like it. Heracles, yeah, is a lethal statistically anomaly. Without fail, at least one student from each graduation class will die from non-anomalous causes within the first week of instruction. This is true regardless of class size. Upperclassmen often place bets on which freshmen will be killed by Heracles and what the manner of death will be, despite the academic rules prohibiting betting on the lives of other cadets. Iphigenia was a large dog that lived on campus from 1984 to 1995. 11 years, during which time it attended class and took exams as if it were a cadet. It died of natural causes, 3 credits short of graduation. It was so close to graduate. It was 3 days away from graduation. Academic administrators have determined that there is no validity to persistent rumors among cadets that Iphigenia was a serpent's hand infiltrator that faked its own death. Wait, hold on. I want to see that fucking infiltrator. Like, what is this into, huh? New Atlantis, oh god, this is even more stuff. Connected with SCP. Oh, okay, never mind. Go back up. An autopsy revealed that it had a human brain. Senior cadets frequently use the existence of Iphigenia to gaslight freshman cadets into believing that one of their cohort has a canine brain. Yeah, I can imagine that. Iphigenia, known as the cadets as Danny. Okay, did he bring the was he also to be called Daniel sometimes? And did he sometimes bring the white wand? I'm just asking the big boy question here, you know? I'm just asking the questions here. You don't have to give me an answer, though. Maybe it's not the case. Jason. Jason is a temporal anomaly that affects 5 random students each year. On the 23rd day of instruction, the 5 affected students enter a finite iteration temporal loop, causing them to repeat said day for 87 cycles. Cadets who experience Jason automatically receive a semester worth of credit in temporal mechanics and are eligible to test for additional academic credit in other disciplines. Larities is a statistical anomaly affecting all academic-sponsored athletic teams, regardless of player or location of play. Academy athletic teams almost always lose in sporting contests unless competing against another academy team, approximately 95% of the time. Despite this, cadets have repeatedly insisted that the academy continue participating in intercollegiate athletics on the basis of maintaining long-standing athletic rivalries with ICSUT and Miskatonic University. It is believed that this anomaly also has a perceptual effect as students consistently reject evidence of its existence, citing alternative explanation for athletic defeats, such as poor coaching or the team being a bunch of nerds. Give me the sailboat mascot of the South Cheyenne Point Skippers. There's quite a lot here. I think we're going down the whole alphabet. Minus, or Minos, depending how you want to... I think it's Minos. Is a Tartarian space that co-extend with the academic campus. Any human who dies on campus produces a class A ectomorph, which becomes trapped inside of Minos. I'm going to say Minos. Cadets from Dormitory F are not affected. Or ghosts in common parlance. Persons on campus are capable of seeing and interacting with these ectomorphs. Cadets frequently make use of ectomorphs to carry message to one another across campus. Nestor refers to the apparent absence of any ways between the Wanderer's Library and the on-campus library of the Academy. Traversable connections between different universes within a closed multiverse system, which are occult in nature. The vast majority of ways cannot be opened without knowledge of a corresponding knock, a passphrase, gesture, or incantation which opens a way. This is considered enormously significant as only 3 other known active libraries lack connection by way to the Wanderer's Library. 2 of these are also libraries located within Foundation facilities. The third is a Dark Family Library, which is ontologically isolated from the rest of the multiverse. The academic library is the subject of Nestor. Yes, have actually a closer look on this one. Well, it might be the saturation that Green Wolf did to these pictures that like makes me go like, this is not real. Odysseus is an anomaly that renders all stairwells within the academy non-functional. Attempting to use a set of stairs to ascend or descend a level will instead place the traversing individual on a random floor of a random building on campus. Reminds me of is it Curse of the Maze in Binding of Isaac? I think it is, yeah, Curse of the Maze that like teleports to the random rooms. Particularly enterprising cadets have discovered that by repeatedly stepping into and out of the stairwell, they can repeatedly cycle through random exit points to greatly reduce the distance they must travel between classes. Oh yeah, so they can just like just I'm not in your room, I'm in, I'm out, I'm in, I'm out from robots. As a request of the faculty, elevators have since been installed in all campus buildings for improved accessibility and ease of navigation. However, use of the elevators is frequently more hazardous due to the effect of Sisyphus. Oh, great. What did Sisyphus do? Also, I'm trying to like think how much of this is like connected to the actual Greek myths. Like with Odysseus, of course, he ended up like he wanted to go home and he ended up in like different islands over and over and over again. But then like with Minos, which I'm pretty sure is like the Minotaur, right? The Minotaur story. It's not Asterius, but like it's like the Minotaur of Minos. What like? How is this? Well, let's just keep on reading. Priam, a black orb approximately half a meter in diameter, which hovers in apparent defiance of gravity 3 meters above the center of the campus. No attempt to dislodge or displace this orb has succeeded. Cadets have nicknamed Priam Rundus the Spherical and decorated it with hats, scarves, stickers, etc. for major events and holidays. Oh, that's nice. Rhesus makes it, or Rhesus, makes it impossible for any cadets to pass the class. Practical numerology taught by Dr. Johannes Rockwell, regardless of the cadets' actual knowledge or the composition of the test, all cadets always fail the final exam. This has been observed to be true even when the test considered in its entirety of the question, what is your name? Cadets invariably answered incorrectly. This phenomenon is not present in any of the Professor Rockwell's other classes. Well, if that was the case, I hope they would be like, okay, this test does not count because clearly Resus is happening around here, so yeah. Okay, here we go. Sisyphus. This was a hostile entity or phenomenon which targets all lone individuals attempting to use the campus elevators. Any person left alone in a closed elevator for more than 13 seconds has a 67% chance of dying before the elevator doors reopen. Yeah, I just walk, thank you. To make organizing the logistics of group elevator trips easier, many cadets attempt to schedule all of the classes together. That makes sense. The cause of death in all cases has been the anomalous removal of the entirety of the descendant's skeleton. To date, no bones or bone fragments have been recovered for any of the victims. So see, this is why I'm like, but Sisyphus is, and this doesn't really sound correct. I guess what you could argue is Sisyphus had to push a boulder up the mountain with his own body. No shortcuts. And this is somebody who's like trying to have a shortcut, and then you know the elevator's like, no. The sign on this elevator placed by cadets reminds you to have at least 2 people in the elevator cab to avoid Sisyphus. So that's really stay safe. 2 people per per cab. Very fancy. Like just like the marble floor and the marble wall and all that. Nice. Tantalus. Tantalus is a persistent well, we know who that is. We had an SCP that actually talked about this one, and that's when we learned again that Tantalus was the one who, whenever he tried to eat something, it would just vanish. You just couldn't get it. And that's where the word tantalizing comes from. It's a persistent sensory anomaly affecting all food served in the academy cafeteria. Regardless of individual or food item, all cafeteria food is uniformly perceived as having no flavor. Normal sensation of taste are regained upon exiting the cafeteria. So again, I think there is like connections to all the Greek myths here. It's just not like on the nose, basically. Tantalus was like, yeah, he couldn't eat it. It was impossible for him to eat anything because it would just vanish. But in here, this case, you can eat it. It just tastes like nothing. So even though you have the joy of eating it, there's just no flavor. A common hazing tactic among the senior cadets is to conceal food items with extremely spicy or lingering flavors, such as ghost peppers, inside the meals of freshmen. This frequently results in the targeted freshman vomiting upon leaving the cafeteria. Wow, that's no. Typical meals served in the academy cafeteria. Also, what the fuck? Fries? Is that like, what is it called? Like the fucking the spam? Is that spam? Egg, ketchup, and ugh. Thought meal classification. I mean, like, but each individual meal, food there is not bad. But I feel like as a combination, as an actual meal, that's like nothing. That's not really, doesn't help you. imagine being an athlete in this school. You have to bring your own food from home because that's not going to fuel you. Thornmill classification, despite the deleterious effects SCP 2529 has on the health and well-being of the student body, the Overseer Council and the Academic Ethics Committee have made the determination that active containment of the anomalies is non-desirable. The value of the experience gained by cadets from interacting with genuine anomalies and the camaraderie developed from facing shared hardship are both significant enough to make the negative impact of SCP 2529 acceptable. The primary factor considered in making this determination was the relatively low personal replacement cost for untrained students unfamiliar with the anomalies. Personal replacement cost is an actuarial measure of how much it would cost to replace any given individual within the Foundation. It is not a measure of the overall value of an individual's life, but instead a measure of the total cost to recruit, train, and retain personnel. PRC typically increases the longer an individual has been employed by the Foundation, reflecting the added cost value of specialized skills and expertise acquired through experience. This marginal cost to the Academy per cadet is negligible, so for some cadets in the first year, PRC is actually negative as a result of fees paid to the Academy. The Academy does not charge for tuition or housing, but does levy certain administrative fees and fines for available costs incurred by cadets losing an ID card or damaging facilities or equipment. Foundation actuaries have determined that the statistical value of an average academic cadet does not exceed the median PRC of D-class personnel until the first semester of instruction, by which point the mortality rate for the cadets is actually lower than for regular service Foundation personnel. This includes D-class obtained from anomalous sources such as hyper-intelligent molecular laboratory rodents and all natural automatons provided by Amrita Therapeutics. In the long-term exposure to SCP 2529 tends to result in a higher PRC relative to the non-academy graduates due to the lower frequency at which academy graduates request leave. By the way, I should probably take some notes here for my thumbnail. All right. For the proof of the efficacy of SCP is found in mortality rates for our Foundation personnel who have received academic training, which are non-standard deviation lower than mortality rates for Foundation personnel who have not attended the academy. Yes. Testimonials. Okay. The following testimonials were collected from faculty and graduates of the Foundation Service Academy who were invited to speak freely about their experience at South Cheyenne Point. Director Cody Westbrook, class of 1983. Cody Westbrook is the current director of Site 246. He previously served as a 246. He previously served as the commander of Mobile Task Force Delta 3, Solomon's Hand. The thing you have to understand about the Academy is that it sounds way worse than it actually is. Most of the anomalies are avoidable, or at least manageable with a little bit of effort. Take the intercom, for example. People mostly stopped using it once it got infested by Coghass. Then when the seniors started using it for the prank war, it was my class that finally went in and cut the wires to neutralize the damn thing. Because there's that thing, once something becomes intolerable, the cadets stop tolerating it. Who cares if you need a buddy system to use the elevators, or if the cafeteria sucks, or if one of the professors is accountable? That you should definitely care more about. He happens to be one of the best professors on campus, and he gives the whole class extra credit if you stop him from eating anyone. That's how it goes when you're dealing with anomalies. You adapt and overcome, and if you can't, then you're uncut out for this line of work. You're still talking about a person trying to eat a student. And he's not a cannibal, he's a ghoul. He's a pod monster that eats people. Dr. Gregory Hayden, professor of paralinguistics. Dr. Gregory Hayden is professor of paralinguistics at South Cheyenne Point, the faculty chair of the language and linguistics department, and Bellerophon. Yep. He was formerly an advisor to Gilgamesh, king of Uruk, a position he held from approximately 2950 to 2930 BCE. A full copy of Dr. Hayden's curriculum vitae, which is currently 217 pages long, may be obtained from the Academy's research librarian. Let me just quickly give my Discord a heads up. Oh, wrong one. Delay. Okay, it's not like I want to eat the student. He said tsundere as well. It's not like I want to eat them or anything like that. I just happen to have a very specific dietary needs, which I make every effort to make me through alternative means. But you would be amazed at how much more attentive students are when faced with the prospect of being devoured. And of course, there's always one every few years who really deserves it. The cheater, the slacker, the jerk who treats class like a joke. Don't mind making examples out of them, I will confess. It improves cadets' discipline, and the cadets have caught on that they can fight back, and it's always a delightful treat to see them come together to defend one of their own. You can teach that kind of teamwork, and that's what will keep them alive after they graduate, and they're out in the field dealing with a far less civilized ghoul. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he's not wrong. There will be moments where you have to deal with an actual ghoul that's not a literal ghoul, but just a ghoul in general in life, and this does teach you how to survive against one of them. Even though I don't think beating the shit out of the metaphorical ghoul is going to work well in the future. Gabriel Merlo, class of 2004. Gabriel Merlo is the head accountant on Site 64. So let me just see what that leads. Okay. I'm not sure what you want me to tell you. I studied accounting at the academy. It was pretty boring. I won't lie. I think the weirdest thing I was involved in was putting a birthday hat on Ronda's for the anniversary of the academy. There were 3 of us, me, my roommate, and this elevator buddy, and we had to form a human pyramid in the commons to reach. I was the lightest, so I went on top. I remember I had just finished securing the hat to the orb when my roommate grip slipped and I fell into the fountain. Fortunately, it wasn't full of anything molten that day, but it took me weeks to get the smell of unicorn piss out of my clothes. Yeah! Yeah! Dr. Daniel Sokolsky, class of 1982. Like, this school sounds like the best school, but also the worst school at the same time. It's not a boring school. You definitely are trying to be focused, but at the same time, I would also hate going to the school in the same, it's just constantly trying to survive anything. Is the deputy chief of the Emergent Threat Tactical Response Authority. Very few people know this, but I was the one responsible for the 1982 senior prank war that resulted in the neutralization of Diomedes. I was the one who triggered the intercom the first time, and I told each student organization that a different group was responsible. At the time, Cadet Sokolsky served as a student officer in 14 different on-campus organizations. Also 35? Damn, yeah, it is already. Damn, 35 footnotes. The reactions exceeded anything I could have expected. Of course, there were retaliatory deployments of Diomedes, but it quickly spiraled beyond that. Diomedes became a tool to create windows of opportunity to deploy even greater pranks. The administration was livid, of course. Entire days of instructions were being lost to writhing around on the floor, but their hands were tied by the containment procedures. It was the juniors who finally put a stop to the whole thing, and I was the one who gave them the utility plans that told them that was to cut. I was sick of having to carry earplugs on me all the time. Then we have Daniel Navarro, visiting lecturer. Daniel Navarro is a thaumaturgy and Hey, did we read this? I feel like we read this, but I also could be wrong. It sounds familiar. And an anal specialist attached to Site 64. He is a visiting lecturer at the academy where he teaches classes on thaumatology and art history. Okay, so this place has some serious problems. They say that SCP-2529 helps build camaraderie and experience, but I'm not sure about that. They literally let a ghoul eat the poorest performing students, and I know for a fact that some of the cadets sabotage each other to stay out of the bottom quartile. And yeah, okay, sure, sometimes the cadets band together to protect the guy who's gonna be dinner, but they're only doing it because they know Hayden will give them extra credit. He's a massive pervert too. I've heard so many complaints about him for the female cadets, but he has a tenure. It's also so pointless. We lose so much potential talent to SCP-2529 when the cadets who survive are usually pretty messed up. And for what? Some of the best agents I've known never went to the academy. I didn't. And some of the worst agents I've seen were academy graduates. I won't deny that it teaches valuable skills. I teach here, don't I? But it needs serious reform. There's got to be a better way. I love how it's like his issue was like, oh yeah, my best agents here, they didn't go to school. I'm like, the problem should be more focused on the fact that like majority of the students here would be traumatized. They will not be able to live in a normal world afterwards. Clarissa Shaw, class of 2012. Clarissa Shaw is the commander of Mobile Task Force Gamma 13 Asimov Lawbringers. The Academy is getting awful. Sorry, am I not supposed to swear? Let me start again. The Academy is getting awful. Anyone who tells you otherwise is part of the problem. Yeah, I mean, to be fucking fair, to be honestly fair, this does not seem like a good academy to go to. It does not. Green Wolf, this is fun. This is a cool concept. I do prefer it over the current, well, not the current, the old 2529. But the old 2529 is also fun, of course. Like the idea of like trying to look up a murder case, but there's just no, like every time you do, the phone just crashes. That's like a, but that one I would say is like a very classic idea, right? Looking up something but it ceases to exist, like that. That is like the I would say like a mysterious supernatural event 101. It's like oh yeah, it does not exist. It never did. But I mean, even if you think about it, even like right now in One Piece, the whole Void Century is like the century never existed. But then some people have heard about it, and it's like, yeah, okay, it has existed, it has happened, but we just have no proof. And if you look something up, the proof either A disappears in front of our eyes or we get killed, like one or the other. So I think it's the older version is a classic idea. So I do prefer this one because this is very original. Also based on, like, of course, Greek myths, which I love. I love that. Thank you so much. But yeah, that's great. We only halfway done though. I mean, the next one might not be as long as this one, but also, again, I apologize for being distracted today. But now we have the next SCP that we shall give it a look at, which is 2681, which I have to double check if that was a one that we also needed the Wayback Machine. 2681. Maybe? I don't remember. I don't think so. But the original 2681 was called Animal Man. I just want to double check because I feel like... hold on. No. Yes, okay. So the title is still Animal Man, but I think because I believe the original one was like a human being felt emotions and then animals came out of nowhere and wanted to help him out. So I wonder now if this version of 2681, also still called Animal Man, which I assume is still written by the same author, maybe. I don't think I have tagged the authors in the YouTube tags at this point just yet, but Uncle Nicolini and Midgard Serpent. Yes. Let me actually write these names down because I need to add these to the tags anyway. Midgard Serpent, by the way, what a cool name. Which I know Mechanic, if when he watches this, he's gonna be like, no, it's a serpent, no. But yeah, I wonder. Part of me now wonders. Like, let's see here. Let's watch my video, which you guys won't be able to hear right now. But I wonder, is this also done by Uncle Nicolini, the first one? Okay, so Midgard Serpent wrote the original Anime Man. Sorry about that little pause right there. I hope I will remember to cut that shit out from the edit. But yes, Midgard Serpent wrote the original 2681, but now Uncle Nicolini added a little hand into the mix. A little Nicolini hand. So let's see what this one is all about. Alright, let's go. Because Euclid, spec contain procedures, no anomalous animals are to be contained at site. Now I'm wondering, this one has 24 upvotes. How many upvotes did the other version had? 8. How dare you guys? At least it's higher now, but it deserves more than that. The original deserved more than 8. SB2681 is to be contained in a standard humanoid containment cell inside. SB2681 may only be removed from its cell by level 2 personnel or higher. The subject's basic needs are to be maintained at all times to prevent the compulsion of -1 instances. Medical prescriptions for SB2681 include Ramiltian, fluoxetine, clonazepam. Any instance of -1 that attempt to enter the facility are to be sedated immediately and released. So I think that. So I wonder now, because again, the original Animal Man was all about like how a human being feels emotions, and then animals just came out of nowhere and tried to aid him. Like, right, if he was angry at something, the animals would attack that something. If he was hungry, the animals would bring him food, even though the food was definitely more based on what the animals would eat themselves. It was basically like whatever he felt, animals were always coming to his aid, even if he tried to be alone. And he felt like awful. He was like, oh, you guys think this is funny? You think this is fun? To just like walk around and just see like an entire army of squirrels just out of your balcony waiting to like feed you nuts because your tummy was rumbling in the early morning? No. Description: SB2681 is an 18-year-old human male whose emotional state, thoughts, and needs compel the behaviors of non-human animals. Thereafter referred to as instance of -1 within a 2-kilometer radius. So that seems to still be the same. SB2681 does not seem capable of compelling insects, arachnids, or microorganisms. This results in compelled animals attempting to meet the desires and needs of SB2681. That's still okay. Let's just keep on reading. Maybe it's just not a full rewrite compared to like 2529, but maybe it's just an update. SB2681 cannot control its compulsion effect. Consequences have ranged from minor nuisance to fatalities, despite acting on the subject's desire. Thoughts and needs instances of -1 have not been recorded to comply with SB2681 suicidal or self-harming desires. -1 discovery. I now am curious, who actually told me to check this out? Was it here? 2681? No. Probably, maybe in the Discord then. Someone must have told me. Or maybe it was in one of the streams. Yeah, it might have been one of the streams. Discovery. SB2681 was discovered following an incident at a Ontario mental health facility in which the subject's anomalous properties triggered while outside shortly after being processed. The object was referred to said mental health facility upon both parents expiring in front of him 2 hours prior, having been mauled by dogs while walking. The following is an attached log of the event in which SB2681 was recorded via the facility and security cameras. I don't think that he had that experience. Yeah, because like I'm pretty sure. First of all, I'm pretty sure he was older in the original, right? Yeah, here we go. He was 30 years old in the original version, and I don't think he had his parents killed in front of him by dogs. That's begin log. Wait, the following is an attached log. Yeah. Begin log. SB2681 on other patients are escorted outside by an orderly. The entire time, SB2681 is visibly distraught and attempts to resist following orders. It is eventually shoved outside by the orderly and the door is shut behind it. SB2681 bangs on the door as all the other patients in the courtyard stare at it. SB2681 hyperventilates and paces around the courtyard. The orderly remains near the door, appear to speak to SB2681. Pigeons, owls, and hawks begin flying into the courtyard, smashing the door and swooping overhead to the other patients. According to eyewitnesses, who were later amnesticized, SB2681 shouted apologies as they attempted to stop the -1 instances from flying into the door. So here's the thing. The original one, where he was older, he was like already like burned by this. He was basically sick and tired of it. He was very pessimistic, very aggressive about it. He had I think it was even described that he had like a burst of anger, which did not help when in bursts of anger, the animals would also react to that. I do like him being younger here and having lost his parents, and now he's like, I can imagine him. He must sound crazy, right? It's like no, you don't understand. Animals just fucking come at my. I'm like Snow White, but on like hardcore mode. Faculty staff contact emergency services. Rats, raccoon, and possum climb over and under the fence, begin assailing the door, which is starting to show cracks. Cats, dogs, foxes, and other larger mammals charge the fence, attempt to break through. A few cats break through and begin rubbing themselves up against SCP-2681 while appearing to hiss at the orderly. One of the windows of the facility is opened, and a swallow flies in, flies down the hallway and toward the orderly, attacking him with pecks and scratches. He catches and wrings its neck. Whoa, hey. Orderly now. The animal has nothing to do with this. I mean, it does. Obviously, it does. It's the anomalous effect that does make animals have something to do with this. But don't need to fucking a little bird. The Foundation picks up on the possibly anomalous disturbance and dispatches covert agents to contain SCP-2681 and all the affected -1 instances. Multiple -1 instances break down the gate and consequently glass door to maul the orderly. All the animals within the area of SCP-2681 effect have been already affected, so no additional -1 instances are believed to have been created. The orderly, which SCP-2681 had become upset with, was mauled by multiple dogs, cats, and foxes following the Foundation's arrival to the facility, resulting in his death. -1 instances continue attacking the corpses of the orderly while SCP-2681 continues to scream and weep. Foundation agents enter the facility and begin taking statements from witnesses. SCP-2681 immediately volunteers itself as the cause of this event. Foundation agents amnestize civilians and extract SCP-2681. -1 instances are tranquilized and released. Probably gonna be a lot of -1 instances in that case, huh? And then 2, intake. SCP-2681 was questioned upon the arrival at site to confirm its history and anomalous properties. The following is an attached log of the relevant interview. So, begin log. Okay, we are now it's all my fault. I know it's my fault. First my parents, now this guy. I wish I was never born. I wish it would just kill me. My entire life has been like this. Well, that gets some questions out of the way. You said your whole life has been like this? My parents said they barely had any time to even hold me. So ever since you were born then? My first memory is a pack of dogs attacking my dad because I was mad at him for yelling at me. My mom said that when I cried as a baby, birds would crash through the windows trying to shove worms down my throat. What measures did they take to protect you? I think that we had a similar story, like how like the parents were definitely affected by this. Hold on. Yeah, like the original one also said like how he had this as a baby. Yeah, but in here he was more like saying like, oh, I realized when I was 5. Well, in this case, he's like saying the moment I know, I was able to think this was happening. They moved from out in Saskatchewan to inner city in a pet-free apartment building to get away from all the dangerous animals, or at least as many of them as possible. That sounds like an impossible task. You don't say. So what was your childhood like? Like I said, rough. I don't think you said it, but you definitely indicated it. A lot of animals costing my family and I. When I was old enough to start school, my parents fought out whether or not to send me. They chose to homeschool me. I wasn't allowed to go out. I wasn't allowed to make friends. Every day I would sit in my room and watch as the birds crashed into my window. Do you know how many times you had to replace the glass in the last 5 years? Dr. Gallagher shakes his hand. 20 times. I emphasize, isolation like that sounds awful. It was awful. So what happened leading up to all this? My parents, they couldn't decide what to do with me. I just turned 18 2 days ago, and they kept saying that I couldn't go away for college or even find a job with my... let's call it a condition. Anyway, they were arguing about what to do with me. Notawi wanted us to go back to Saskatchewan. He thought that his condition was a curse placed on our family by someone who had to go sort it out. Nikawi, she thought she would stay in since we had avoided most of the trouble. Oh my god, are these like indigenous names? Are these like... so Cree. that does make it a lot better. I don't think he did it say indigenous before? No, it did not. I don't think the original was indigenous, right? He was not an indigenous person. Which that no, he was a male of Nepali origin. Was emotional state for yeah. Oh, making him indigenous makes this a lot better, I would say. Because Nepal is also pretty cool though. I gotta say, like, both very cool ideas. Yeah. I think that's I don't know, something about like being an indigenous person, and then of course in the indigenous like people have such a connection to spirits and to animals in all the tales. So having this almost like a something that normally would be considered like a blessing being an absolute curse. I think that's awesome. I think, yeah, okay, let's keep on reading. She thought was saying since we had avoided most of the trouble. 18, huh? Wow, I'm surprised we didn't pick up on you sooner. What are you people anyway? The men in black? We're House 13? I'll answer that later. Please go on. Fine. As I was saying, we had avoided most troubles, but then the rats came. It turned out that one of our neighbors had been a hoarder. He died, and when they found him, he was half eaten by rats that all scurried out of his apartment into ours, because of course my condition attracted them. Anyway, we couldn't get rid of them, so we had to call the exterminator, and that meant having to leave the apartment. And from there, I assume you got frustrated with your parents while out and about town. Yeah, for not even asking me what I thought, honestly. Yeah, that is frustrating, especially because like it's a condition that you had no control over, and yeah, I can see how you feeling like you have no agency in your own life can be frustrating. Look, we're going to do our best to keep you comfortable down here. You're roughly 3 kilometers on the ground here, so no animal test that isn't here on purpose can get to you. But we're going to have to run some tests. You know, they were pretty shit parents, but given the circumstances, I feel like they tried. I think so too. By the way, the thing you guys did to the people at the loony bin, the forget-me juice, any chance we could get some of that? I'd rather not remember today if possible. Are you sure? Yes. I'll put in the request. I don't know how to say. I do apologize for butchering these. Now that I know that it's Cree as well. I don't know how to pronounce anything in Cree. And log. Amnestic treatment for SCP-2681 was approved on the condition it agreed to several tests to log its properties. I mean, understandable. This is the first time we ever had, I think, one of the first. There's probably one more out there that I read about, but this is like one of the first where the actual human SCP was like, I saw you use something to make people forget. Please give that to me. It's like, wow. That just shows you how bad it was, and also like him saying they were shit parents, but I guess they were trying. At the end, with his condition, with his enormous effect, and with what the parents had to deal with, they were probably like. I think he is forgiving them for how he was raised by them, because he understands that his condition is not natural. It's definitely out of this world. It's not something that like people have. So he understands that they were trying their best with what they had, which is something that, again, was not something that anybody else had to deal with before. So it's not like you can just ask somebody and be like, hey, how do you deal with like your kid summoning animals whenever it feels anything? So I think this is the moment where he's like, yes, they did not do a good job, but at the same time, with what I am, I can only say they were at least trying. And then 3, testing. SCP-2681 was brought into a control test setting within a bulletproof enclosure. Need, hunger. Food was withheld from subject for 12 hours. Test number 1, a common rat, Rattus novicus, and a common mouse, Mus musculus. The rat killed the mouse and placed its corpse next to SCP-2681. Nobly, the mouse did not resist and allowed itself to be killed. I think there was something similar like that. Hunger, food was was withheld from subject for 12 hours. 3. A male coyote. -1 proceeded to gnaw of its own left hind leg and presented to SB2681. Safety. SB2681 is to be shot with a rubber bullet every 10 seconds in a total of 10 times through a small entry hole through the enclosure. Test number 16, a male green anaconda. -1 quickly wrapped itself around SB2681 before the shots were fired, using itself to defend SB2681's torso, legs, and face. -1 was later sedated to prevent a possible attack on personnel. Yeah, see, at the end, you can see like how it is technically... It's a shame because it technically is a blessing, but because it's an uncontrollable thing where, like, if you just get mad at somebody, suddenly animals just attack them and kill them. Like, that by itself is a problem, right? You can't hang out with anybody because, like, if you constantly be surrounded by animals, and if you have an argument, animals just fucking, what's up, bro? Emotion, anger, position class D personnel are to enter the enclosure and antagonize SB2681. That's number 25. Animal use, a male Tibetan Mastiff, Canis lupus familiaris. A D50134 shouted abusive comments towards SB2681 for 15 seconds, but abruptly stopped after -1 snarled and showed its teeth. D50134 was instructed to keep antagonizing SB2681, or he would be returned to general prison population without having his sentence reduced. D50134 reluctantly continued shouting abusive comments towards SB2681 for 6 seconds until attacked by -1. -1 was sedated to prevent further aggression. Yeah. And then here we have Addendum 4, post-test testing interview. SB2681 was interviewed following testing. Attached below is a log of said interview. Begin log. Good morning. You promised me the forget-me juice. Where the fuck is it? And by the way, you people are fucked up. You killed those animals for nothing, and then you made that wolf or coyote, whatever, made itself just floor a log? You people are evil. I'd rather you just kill me, honestly. Look, I'm sorry those tests were unpleasant, but this is the nature of my job. Fuck off, I don't even like animals and I feel bad. So you don't like animals? Interesting, can you tell me a little bit about that? Fuck off, I'm not about to be psychoanalyzed by Men in Black Patrick Bateman. I just wish to understand. At what cost? Will you cooperate if I get you amnestics? Is that what you call that thing? I don't know. I'm at your mercy here. Like some kind of fucking pet dog, ironic. You don't have to look at it like that. Then how do I look at it? My life is in your hands. I have even less autonomy now than I did before. I might as well be slave. A funny little slave that makes animals kill you. But now that I'm buried so deep underground, I guess only the prairie dogs can find me. Congratulations, you win. They won't kill me. And all the edges have been so thoroughly sanded off this place, I can't kill myself. I'm sorry you feel this way. Are you? And log. Note SB2681 was prescribed antidepressant and sleeping aids to keep it in a state of torpor until further research may be conducted. Additionally, the object was administered Class A amnestics following this. So he got amnestics, but definitely it did not help the way at the end Foundation. That did not help. By the way, Uncle Nicolini, Midgard Serpent. I honestly do prefer this one just a tiny bit more. It's not too different to what we had before, but I do like the little changes. I do like it that it's an indigenous person, just because of the connection to the spirit and animals in their culture. I do like that. But yeah, it's other than that, it seems to be going pretty much in the same route. It's a person that summons animals whenever they feel something. And it's like most of the time against the control. And this is not a critique to you. The writer, this is a critique to the Foundation as a whole. It is a shame that you don't explain to him, right, Dr. Galax. Like you can tell him like, hey, here at the Foundation, we have to do this because we need to know exactly the extent of your anomalous ability. Either A, we actually can figure out how to get it away from you if we really need to, or B, so we don't get fucking surprised. You can explain that to him. He's smart enough to understand that it's like, oh, okay, like you are basically stress testing me to make sure that in case of worst case scenario you can handle whatever comes. But I do like what 2681 says at the end, like, are you? When he says, I'm sorry you feel that way. It's like, are you really though? Are you just saying that because it's like that's like normal thing to say in this situation, or are you truly sorry? Because there's a high chance you aren't. There's a high chance that you're looking at this kid who lost his parents, who's being hunted by, like, not even hunted, just like he's paranoid because animals constantly try to help him out, even though he doesn't want them to. He even says, "I don't like animals." He doesn't like animals. But the only reason why that's probably the case is because they have fucked his life over. But yeah, so you're talking to this kid who lost his parents, who went to a mental asylum, basically, a faculty to keep in check, and witnessed horrors beyond his imagination, got traumatized by it since childhood. And now you over here like, oh, I'm sorry you feel this way. Like, you're not even trying to connect with him. I know we read it recently, how I read in the tale from SCP-3284 how, like, yes, we need to keep a distance from the anomalous. So we have a scientific distance. We don't want to connect with them. We don't want to have a bond. We don't have a friendship or anything like that. And that's why they call everything an it. And it's the same case with human SCPs. They will call them an it because they want to keep the distance away from each other. But I still feel like, at least with human SCPs, you should at least attempt to, like, show that you care a tiny bit for their well-being. Like, this kid does not deserve being treated like an object. This was, since birth, he just got fucked over. And you know, we won't even give him the courtesy of like, yeah, listen, we actually have dealt with a lot of bullshit around here. So your ability is not anything special to us, but we need to make sure to understand how you function. And then once we do, we can actually work towards seeing if we can find a way to turn that shit off. And I know at the end, the Foundation is less about trying to like heal people. But there is still cases of that happening in the Foundation where they were protecting the anomaly, especially the human anomalies, also means that they find a solution for their problems. Because you can't just contain him forever, which they did so often. And at the end, again, reading through the tale I read just 2 days ago, the Foundation, not actually 2 days, yesterday actually, the Foundation is cold, not cruel. But keeping this kid contained without telling him anything and just doing tests without, like, at least giving him some sense of hope. Some sense of, like, understanding. Doesn't have to be hope necessarily, because, like, you don't want to lie to him. You don't want to be like, yeah, we are working on a solution, but you're actually not. But at least to make him understand what's going on so that he can sleep better at night, it would be the least you can do. But yeah. Alright, no, I do like this version. Again, it's not like a full rewrite like the 2529 version we had, but I do prefer this little update here, for sure. Uncle Nicolini, that was a nice little addition and a little change you helped out here. That was awesome. Other than that, guys, thank you again for all the subscribers. I keep saying, though, this channel is not a thing that I aim to get subscribers for. It's just me going on this journey of of reading SCPs in numerical order because I just want to read them all. It's just the completionist side of me. So seeing people not only subscribing, liking and commenting positive things for me is very, very appreciated. I just want you to understand that, like, the fact that I'm just doing this for my own sake, to be honest, and then I'm also doing it because I want the authors to understand, hey, your work can get attention. Your work will get attention. Somebody will like it. Somebody will look at it. And compared to those mega SCPs that get like over hundreds and thousands of upvotes, even like this one that only has 24 upvotes, which I still think is too little. Everybody do your work. But only give it an upvote if you really believe it deserves it. Don't just like do it because I said so, because that defeats the purpose. The purpose is that you yourself actually do like what this one was about. you were like, oh, I never heard about this one, but now that I heard it and you read for me, I do like the concept. I do like what it was. Let me give it an upvote. So yeah. But yeah, the same, and that's what I'm saying. Like I appreciate any of y'all thinking like, oh, I want to follow his journey. I want to see how far he goes. I want to see him reach the end one day. I appreciate that. I really do. It's to 750. It should be a joke SCP next Thursday. So look forward to that. In the meantime, tomorrow, which one is tomorrow? Let's see here. It should be 2974. Unless I just don't get that 750 subscribers at all, and this comes a week later, and then it's not 2974 at all. Who knows? It happened multiple times already. It can happen today. But other than that, the Afro's with you, and wish you all a good morning, afternoon, evening, and a good night. Ciao.